If you are seeing this message right now, it is not by accident. You are among the few who have been chosen to hear what I am about to say. While millions scroll past, something deeper has drawn you here. This is your moment. Stop, breathe, and listen, because what I am about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about where you are standing right now. You have been carrying something heavy, haven't you? A weight that no one else can see. You have smiled through conversations while your heart felt like it was breaking. You have told yourself you are fine, that you are managing, that this is just how life is. But deep within, you know the truth. You are exhausted from pretending. You are tired of holding together things that were never meant to stay. And tonight, I am telling you this. It is time to let go. I see you clearly. I see the nights when you stare at the ceiling, wondering if anything will ever feel light again. I see the moments when you question whether you made the right choices, whether you are on the right path, whether anyone truly understands what you are going through. And I am here to tell you something that will shake the very ground you stand on. The foundation you have been clinging to was never meant to hold you. It was only meant to teach you that true stability does not come from what you can control. It comes from surrendering to what I have already prepared for you. You have called it peace, but it is not peace. It is simply the silence of a heart that has learned to survive instead of live. You have called it strength, but it is not strength. It is endurance born from fear of what might happen if you finally let yourself feel everything you have been avoiding. I am not here to comfort you in your hiding place. I am here to call you out of it. As it is written, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. John 14:27. Do you see the difference? The peace the world offers requires you to keep everything under control, to avoid conflict, to stay small so that nothing breaks. But the peace I offer is alive. It does not demand that you shrink yourself. It invites you to expand into the fullness of who you were created to be. And that expansion, my beloved, begins with release. If this message is stirring something deep within your spirit, I want you to do something. Type the word Amen in the comments. Let me know you are here. Let me know you are ready to receive what I am about to pour into your life. Your agreement carries power. Your acknowledgement opens doors. Do not just listen passively, engage with this word. Declare it over your life. I know what you have been holding on to. I see the relationships you refuse to release because you are afraid of being alone. I see the habits you cling to because they give you a false sense of control. I see the expectations you carry because you believe that if you just work hard enough, sacrifice enough, hold on long enough, everything will finally fall into place. But I am here to tell you the truth. Some things are not falling apart. They are falling away, and there is a difference. Falling apart means destruction. Falling away means liberation. What you think you are losing is only making space for what you have been too afraid to reach for. The door that closed was not a rejection. It was a redirection. The person who left was not a loss. They were a lesson. The opportunity that slipped through your fingers was not a failure. It was protection from a path that would have pulled you away from your true calling. Remember the people of Israel at the edge of the Red Sea. Behind them was the army of Egypt. The life they knew, the bondage they had grown accustomed to. In front of them was water, uncertainty, the unknown. And in that moment of terror, when every logical thought told them to turn back, I spoke through Moses. Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Exodus 14:13. They did not need to fight. They did not need to figure it out. They only needed to trust that I was making a way where there appeared to be no way. You are standing at your own Red Sea right now. Behind you is everything familiar, everything you have known, everything that once gave you a sense of security. And before you is the unknown. It feels terrifying. It feels like too much. But I am telling you what I told them. Do not be afraid. Stand still. Watch what I am about to do. There are foundations in your life that you have built out of fear, and I am allowing them to shake, not to destroy you, but to reveal what is real. Not to leave you without support, but to show you that your true foundation is not in what you can see or control. It is in me. As it is written, if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? Psalm 11:3. The answer is this. The righteous do not panic when the temporary crumbles. They stand firm because they are rooted in what is eternal. You have spent so much energy trying to keep everything stable, trying to make people stay, trying to force outcomes, trying to protect yourself from pain. But my child, you were never meant to carry that burden. I am not asking you to hold everything together. I am asking you to release it into my hands and trust that I will hold what is meant for you and remove what is not. Consider Abraham. When I called him to leave his homeland, I did not give him a map. I did not show him the destination. I simply said, "Go to the land I will show you," Genesis 12:1. And he went. Not because he understood, not because it made sense, but because he trusted that where I was leading him was better than where he was staying. You are being called in the same way, not to a place of certainty, but to a place of trust. And do you know what happened to Abraham? He did not just receive a new location. He received a new identity. He was no longer Abram, the man bound by his past. He became Abraham, the father of many nations. The journey I called him into was not just about changing his address. It was about transforming who he was. And that is what is happening to you right now. You are not just moving from one place to another. You are being transformed from who you were into, who you were always meant to be. The reason you feel uncomfortable is because transformation is uncomfortable. Caterpillars do not become butterflies by staying the same. They enter a place of complete dissolution. Everything they were breaks down. And in that place of seeming destruction, something miraculous happens. Wings form, new life emerges. And what once crawled on the ground now soars above it. You are in the cocoon right now. It feels dark. It feels confining. It feels like nothing is happening. But I am working. In the silence, in the stillness, in the space where you cannot see progress. I am forming something within you that the world has not yet seen. Do not despair in the waiting. Do not give up in the darkness. What is being created in you is worth every moment of this process. And here is what I need you to understand. Trust is not passive. Trust is active. Trust is taking the next step even when you cannot see the staircase. Trust is releasing your grip even when your hands are trembling. Trust is saying yes to the unknown because you believe that I am already there, preparing the way. Let me tell you what trust really looks like. It looks like Peter stepping out of the boat in the middle of a storm. All the other disciples stayed in the boat where it was safe, where it made sense, where they could see the wood beneath their feet. But Peter heard my voice say, "Come," and he stepped out onto the water. Matthew 14:29. As long as his eyes were on me, he did the impossible. He walked on water, not because he was special, not because he was more faithful than the others, but because he was willing to risk everything to get closer to me. But then something happened. He looked at the wind, he looked at the waves, he took his eyes off me and focused on the circumstances, and he began to sink. Now here is what most people miss in this story. I did not let him drown. The moment he cried out, "Lord, save me," I reached out my hand and caught him. Matthew 14:30. I did not say you failed, you doubted, you are not worthy. I simply asked, why did you doubt? You see, the lesson is not that you will never falter. The lesson is that even when you do, I am right there to catch you. You are being invited to step out of the boat of what is comfortable, walk on the water of what seems impossible. And if you stumble, cry out to me. I will not let you sink. I will not let you drown. I will catch you every single time. Your faith does not have to be perfect. It just has to be present. Your trust does not have to be absolute. It just has to be activated. Take the step even if your knees are shaking, even if your mind is screaming at you to stay where it is safe. Take the step, because I am already there, standing on the water, reaching out my hand saying, "Come." I hear your question you are asking, but what if I fall? What if I take this step and everything collapses? And I answer you this: even if you stumble, you will not fall completely, for I am holding you. Even if you lose your footing, I will lift you. The issue is not whether you will face difficulty. The issue is whether you will face it alone or with me. And I am telling you tonight, you are not alone. You have never been alone, and you never will be. There is a story you need to hear. Joseph was given a dream when he was young, a dream of greatness, of purpose, of destiny. But before that dream came to pass, he was thrown into a pit by his own brothers. He was sold into slavery. He was falsely accused and imprisoned. If you had asked him in that prison cell whether his dream was coming true, he would have said it was shattered. But the truth is, every pit, every betrayal, every prison was not a detour. It was preparation. And when the time came, Joseph stood before Pharaoh and said, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." Genesis 50-20. Do you understand what this means for you? It means that nothing you have been through has been wasted. Not a single tear, not a single betrayal, not a single moment when you felt forgotten. I have been using every experience, every hardship, every disappointment to shape you into someone who can carry the weight of the blessing I am about to release. You could not have handled it before. You were not ready, but you are being made ready right now. Joseph did not just survive those years in prison. He thrived. He served faithfully even when no one was watching. He maintained his integrity even when he had every reason to become bitter. And when his moment came, he was not just promoted. He was positioned to save nations. His personal pain became the pathway to collective deliverance. Your story is the same. What you are going through is not just for you. It is preparing you to be a vessel of blessing for others who will come after you. That is what I am doing in your life right now. What looks like loss is actually positioning. What feels like delay is actually development. What seems like rejection is actually protection. I am not punishing you, I am preparing you. And when you finally see the full picture, you will understand that every single closed door was a mercy. Every single no was guiding you toward the yes you were truly meant for. Let me speak to you about timing. You have been asking, when? When will things change? When will I see breakthrough? When will my prayers be answered? And I tell you this, my timing is not your timing. My ways are not your ways. Isaiah 55:8. You measure time by calendars and clocks. I measure time by readiness and purpose. A seed planted in the ground does not sprout the next day. It waits, it absorbs, it prepares, and when the conditions are right, it breaks through the soil and reaches toward the sun. You are that seed right now. You are in the ground. You are in the dark. You are in the waiting. But you are not dormant. You are preparing to break through. And when you do, the world will see what I have been cultivating in secret. Do not rush the process. Do not resent the waiting. Trust that I know exactly when to bring you forth, and when that moment comes, no one will be able to deny that it was me who did it. If this message has stirred your spirit, if you feel the weight of these words pressing upon your heart, I want to speak about the law of sowing and reaping. As it is written, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:38. Those who understand this principle know that when you bless the work that blesses you, you open a door for blessing to flow back into your own life. If you feel led by the Spirit to sow a seed into this ministry that is bringing you these messages, there is a way prepared for you in the pinned comment below. When you give with a pure heart, expecting nothing in return, you activate a divine principle. Your generosity becomes a declaration of faith, and faith never returns void. Now let me speak to you about my promises. You have read them, you have heard them preached, you have declared them over your life, but have you truly believed them, or have you treated them as beautiful words that apply to everyone else but you? I need you to understand something tonight. Every promise I have ever made is yes and amen. 2 Corinthians 1:20. Not maybe, not eventually, not if you are good enough. Yes and amen. When I said I will never leave you nor forsake you, I meant you. Hebrews 13:5. When I said I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future, I meant you. Jeremiah 29:11. When I said no weapon formed against you shall prosper, I meant you. Isaiah 54:17. These are not generic statements. They are personal declarations over your life. But here is where many stumble. They believe the promises, but they do not believe in my faithfulness to fulfill them. They say, yes, God can do it, but will He do it for me? And I am here tonight to settle that question once and for all. I am not a man that I should lie, nor a son of man that I should change my mind. Do I speak and then not act? Do I promise and not fulfill? Numbers 23:19, what I have promised I will perform, what I have spoken I will bring to pass. Not because you earned it, not because you deserve it, but because I am faithful, and my faithfulness is not dependent on your perfection. It is rooted in my character. You see, this is the difference between you and me. You look at your circumstances and determine what is possible. I look at my word and declare what is certain. You see obstacles. I see opportunities. You see endings. I see new beginnings. You see failure. I see refining. The question is not whether I am able. The question is whether you are willing to trust me even when what you see does not match what I have said. Remember the story of the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown into a furnace for refusing to bow to a false god. The king made the fire 7 times hotter than usual. It was so intense that the soldiers who threw them in were consumed by the flames. But when the king looked into the furnace, he saw 4 men walking around, unbound and unharmed. Daniel 3:25. I was in the fire with them, and they came out without even the smell of smoke on their clothes. You are in the fire right now. The heat is intense. The pressure is overwhelming. But I am in the fire with you, and when you come out, you will not carry the stench of what you went through. You will carry the testimony of who brought you through. The fire is not destroying you, it is purifying you. It is burning away everything that is not of me so that only what is eternal remains. Now, let me speak to the part of you that feels weak. The part that says, I am not strong enough for this. I am not brave enough. I do not have what it takes. And I tell you this, my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. You do not need to be strong. You only need to be willing. Strength is not the absence of fear. Strength is moving forward even when fear is present. Strength is not pretending you are fine. Strength is admitting you are not and trusting that I am enough to carry you through. David did not become king because he was fearless. He became king because he faced his fears with faith. He stood before Goliath, a giant that everyone else was too terrified to confront, and he said, You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord. 1 Samuel 17:45. He did not rely on his own strength. He relied on mine. And that is what I am calling you to do. Face your giants, not with arrogance, but with faith. Not with your own power, but with mine. You are being strengthened in this very moment, not by the removal of struggle, but by learning to stand in the midst of it, not by avoiding the storm, but by discovering that I am with you in the center of it. Do not despise the process. Do not resent the pressure. The fire that feels like it is burning you is actually refining you. The weight that feels like it is crushing you is actually building endurance. And when you come out on the other side, you will not be the same person who entered. You will be stronger, wiser, and more rooted in the truth of who you are and whose you are. My beloved child, I know you are tired. I know you have been holding on for so long, but I need you to hear me clearly. What you have been holding on to is not yours to carry anymore. I am not asking you to let go so that you will fall. I am asking you to let go so that I can catch you. There is a difference between losing control and surrendering. Losing control is chaos. Surrendering is trust. And here is what happens when you surrender. Peace floods in, not the kind of peace that depends on circumstances, but the kind of peace that exists in the middle of uncertainty because you know that I am holding you. Rest comes. Not the kind of rest that comes from the absence of work, but the kind of rest that comes from the presence of trust, and clarity emerges. When you stop straining to figure everything out, you begin to see the path I have been lighting all along. I am clearing what is around you, not to leave you empty, but to give you space to breathe, to grow, to become. You are not being diminished. You are being refined. You are not being abandoned. You are being led. And where I am leading you is into the fullness of the life you were always meant to live. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Psalm 30:5. The night you are in right now is not permanent. The heaviness you feel is not the end of the story. Morning is coming, and when it comes, you will look back and see that every tear you cried watered the ground for the harvest you are about to reap. So rise not in fear but in faith, not in confusion but in confidence, not because you have all the answers, but because you know the one who does. Take the step, release the grip, surrender the control. And watch as I make a way where there seemed to be no way. Before we close, if this message has touched your heart, do me one small favor. Hit the like button, leave a comment, even if it is just one word. Your engagement helps this message reach others who need to hear it just as much as you did. And if you have not yet subscribed, do that now. Turn on the notification bell, because the messages coming in the days ahead are not for the casual listener. They are for the chosen ones who are ready to walk into their destiny, and you, my beloved, are one of them. You are not merely a listener. You are chosen. Chosen to hear, chosen to receive, chosen to walk in the fullness of what I have prepared for you. Do not let this moment pass without acting on what you have heard. Step forward, trust me, and watch what I will do. Amen.